you, Patriot fam. I was like this close to being ready. I saw something a little strange. Don't you hate that when like you open your laptop and something happens and you're just like, wait, what? That was weird.
Yeah.
But hi everyone. Happy Trump Tuesday.
Tuesday.
That's what we like to call it, Trump Tuesday. Because our friends go on Spaces and they talk about all things Trump from last week and what's occurring since this weekend. So if you are on X, you should come into our Spaces for Trump Tuesday. That's tonight at 8 p.m. So excited to have y'all.
And Allie, one of the things I noticed about coming in on X, and I love it because I'll have Allie in a personal chat on the side because I'm X handicapped a little bit. I'm still trying to learn it, and I'll say, "What if I have a question?" And there's like a whole way that you can respond, so you can like laugh and heart what people are saying.
Yeah.
So you're a part of the conversation, but then you can kind of raise your hand and ask to have the mic if you have something you want to add. And I think this is amazing.
And you never know who's going to pop into the space.
You've had some big name people pop in.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Because they know to keep their ear to what's happening in the grassroots.
Well, that and they're able to, give firsthand accounts on what's actually going on in Congress instead of hearing it from legacy media or bought and paid for independent, quote unquote, media. But thank you guys for joining us today from all our social media platforms, our Spotify and all that. Lord, please pray for us that our feed does not get throttled again today.
I know. Well, and there's a lot. Listen, there's a lot going on with threats, not just obviously for what happened to Charlie Kirk, but others in the industry.
Yeah.
Benny Johnson's. We've
Tim
got
Pool.
Tim Pool. We're going to be talking about that later. Trump has had enough. We're going to get to that. A tweet that can't tweet. X tweet. I don't know. That came out.
X repost
this morning. I mean, when the president of the United States calls you by your first name, he's got this much patience. He's got this much left. So we'll talk about that and all the things. Guys, keep it locked here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Let's open the mic.
Red hat stays on. Red hat stays on. Red hat stays on. Red hat stays on. Taking back our freedom, back to where we started. We're wearing our red hat tonight. It takes more than just a feeling. Better be believing, and America's gonna be home.
What do you do when they try to cancel you? MAGA Nation, we cancel proof. My red hat stays on. My red hat stays on. You know I love God, but in Trump I trust. November 5th, he gon' ride with us. Our red hat stays on. Our red hat stays on. It's the mayor of MAGAville, the RNC King. 2024, freedom gon' ring. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. I'm still fighting for each one of you. And keep your red hat on.
Oh. FBI's got nothing on Allie.
Interesting.
Just saying, cash. Call. We can help you out. Welcome to Open Mic, ladies. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Patriot TV, for all you do. Thank you to our everybody that works behind the scenes. Krista, she's got patience of a saint. And we thank you to everybody that helps us here. Allie, I think we just tear off the Band-Aid. I saw this morning, and I thought of you, and I thought, he first named her. Donald Trump is not the only one, apparently, our Open Mic ladies are not the only ones who are wondering where all of the perp walks are from people that have broken the law, have been indicted. We don't know what the status is of half of this crap. Take a listen to what Donald Trump said. He said, Pam. Ooh, that's Pam Bondi. Attorney General, he says, Pam. I reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying that essentially, quote, same old story as last time, all talk, no action, nothing is being done. What about Comey, Adam Shifty Schiff, Letitia? They're all guilty as hell, but nothing's being done, end quote. Then we almost put in a Democrat-supported U.S. attorney in Virginia. Ooh, with a really bad Republican past. A woke rhino who was never going to do the job. That's why two of the worst Democratic senators pushed for him. Going on and on and on. He says, I fired him. There's great cause, blah, 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 blah. Goes on. We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be done now. He doesn't say thank you for your attention to this matter. He says signed President DJT. Someone had gangsta in his coffee.
Okay, yeah, but isn't he like the highest authority? Like, if he wanted to fire her, couldn't he just fire her?
But this is what Trump does.
But how many times is he going to call her out, though?
I don't know. And again, I'm not going to pretend that I do know. But my thought is that
just asking questions.
This
don't come for me in my comments because, We like to
No.
ask questions around here.
Come for her and her comments, and then you'll get the sis. Go ahead. That's happened already.
It has, no, for sure.
You think Allie's gangster? Southside Chicago comes out, and it's not pretty.
We got Southside Chicago and Jersey Girl. Like, this is not.
Both saved now by the grace of God. So,
But like Newark, New Jersey, not like Fist Pump, New Jersey. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's different.
I love you. I love you. That's why God knew we needed each other. He was like, who do I got that's a little ghetto?
We got to lock it down.
And a lot of grace.
Half holy, half hood. That means pray for me. Don't play with me.
Or as my daughter would say, you're like kind of Proverbs 31 meets Medea. And I never know what I'm going to get.
Look, if you can't handle me at Judges, you can't handle me at Proverbs. I'm just saying. Oh my goodness, I hope you guys are laughing.
Cords coming out of places that I didn't know I
But
had cords.
seriously, I mean, how many times is he gonna call her out before something actually happens?
but
We've all been waiting.
But President
It's like
Trump,
the third time already.
President Trump understands the court of public opinion. And part of
Yeah.
what I think he does, just a hunch, is that he'll air out the dirty laundry. He'll let you air it out. He'll let me air it out. He'll let the people air it out. And then he'll air it out again. And then it's like he just, hopefully, I'm not saying, I am saying that
Say it.
I want a different attorney general. I do.
Okay.
I do. I don't, we don't have time for on-the-job training.
Ooh.
We don't have time for your wonderful best intentions. And I actually love a lot of what Pam Bondi's done. I have issues with a lot of anybody. We have issues with anybody, what anybody's done. I'm sure Allie has issues with me. Whatever, we're not going to pull that thread. But so I think what he's doing here is he's setting the stage for, okay, as a leader lots of times, or a manager or a boss, lots of times you give people the ability to rise.
It's grace. You give them a little bit of grace. Let's just call it what it is. You give them grace, right?
Or
To see if they can fix it. And maybe this might be the last time, the last warning, because he like literally called her by her name.
he said first name.
I mean, the last time that happened, I don't.
Can you imagine calling the Secretary of War Pete? Oh my gosh.
Listen here, Pete.
That just doesn't feel right in any part of my body right now.
I'll say it, cause you know me, I don't care. I just,
Like, I don't care.
hi, how you doing? Like it is what it is.
I love it. Cash. What's up?
Yeah, hi. Hi.
So there is a development too. You're gonna love this. This is your buddy Nick Sortor.
Yeah.
Our buddy.
I love it.
I was with you.
I love it.
I'm gonna claim him too.
Claim
Nick
him.
Sortor is coming out and saying, listen, $10 million federal civil lawsuit against the Portland Police Department, not only for not coming in and helping him, but they ended up arresting him, and he was the one that needed help. It's just,
Right.
his civil liberties were definitely violated. I want you to take a look and listen to him. Take a look.
Portland as well. Out there, when I was arrested, because I was a conservative, out there trying to cover the ICE riots that the legacy media didn't want to. I mean, these liberal, these big leftist police departments routinely side with the woke, radical, violent left. And, you know, we were able to find out over those past weeks, since I was arrested in Portland, just today, actually, we served them with a $10 million federal civil rights lawsuit. Because this is a pattern and practice of these far left cities ordering their police department to go after people like me, and in Portland's case, leave the leftist protesters alone, give them more runway and latitude. There was literally, we found a case, Laura, where
Wow, incredible. I'm proud of him though. I think that is it's necessary. It's definitely necessary.
Well, and so this is going to make a huge statement, because largely we hope and we're praying, and just as General Flynn says all the time, we have digital soldiers now. The war is really on information and making sure you understand what's really taking place. We don't want you to take our word for it, which is why we show you clips every time we talk about something, because I don't want you to turn off CNN, you know, with their brainwashing, only to turn on a different form of brainwashing. Not the intent here. We will always show you the true story. But when you don't have that coverage outside of these ICE facilities
Right.
to show what's really happening, and
Right.
as Allie says, you don't have the repeal of the
Smith Modernization Act. Can we get it done, please, Speaker Johnson?
We're going to get a little
I need a
flashcard
button.
that's like,
I need a button. I need a button. That just says it. I'm just going to push the button.
then we require people like Nick Sortor, Chad Caton, and all the others
Reminds
to
me
go
of Rush Hour. Push a button.
We try so hard.
I'm sorry.
We get this close. No, it's either one of us, and I love you for it. Oh my God, I love you so much for it.
My brain. It's like it's either a song or a movie. I can't. I'm sorry.
We need people like you.
Or a Bible verse.
Or a Bible verse.
It comes out.
And she will text it to you.
I will.
At 2 a.m. if she feels that you need it.
Hey, listen.
Love it.
And my timing is impeccable.
It is.
That's the Lord.
If I'm being honest, it is. So we're hoping that this does set precedents because we need to respect our independent journalists and law. The law should be blind in that sense.
Yes, and our independent journalist period, should not be in harm's way due to the purposeful incompetence, willful incompetence of the police department.
And listen,
that is currently working with Democrat Tifa.
They changed the name
Allegedly.
from Tran Tifa. A lot of our law enforcement, especially I'm blessed to have two brothers that are in law enforcement throughout the country, and so we back the blue. We not only back the blue, but as conservatives, we want to protect the blue, but we cannot look past the fact that some states and some cities that have become sanctuary cities and highly over politicized might have people at the helm that are calling orders that don't line up with the fair dispensation of the law. Where's the seditious six now?
Oh.
Why aren't they saying, hey, Portland police, you should arrest fairly. You should adjudicate. Oh, well, you know what?
It doesn't fit their narrative.
Wow.
Right.
Did it get brighter in here?
Do you see
Because
that?
I just connected that in my head.
Gosh. No,
It
but that's
takes me a
good that happened. Like, right, you just did that conscious, train of thought. I love it.
Coffee kicked in, and it was like...
No, but that's important to put those things together.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy what's happening.
So I want to switch gears a little bit
Seditious
because we
six.
don't want to let Ilhan Omar ever off the hot seat because I think that's how you get her largely unelected. But whistleblowers are now saying, guys, they confirm that Ilhan Omar, remember, she's the representative from the district in Minnesota that has the largest amount of Somalian fraud, putting the taxpayers really on the hook for funding money that's going to Somalia to support terrorism. Her campaign funneled a massive amount of money to her husband's firm.
Shocker.
Who I think, is this the husband that's really her brother?
Yes.
Like sister, brother,
Yes.
whatever. To her husband's firm, while Somali-linked networks in Minneapolis ran one of the biggest COVID relief fraud schemes in history. Well, wouldn't you know, they'd use that virus concocted by gain-of-function research in Wuhan, China, at the hands of the taxpayer dollars. Thank you so much, Frankenstein Fauci, for that. It was a setup because we needed money to go into all of the USAID NGOs.
Yep.
And we needed largely our baby boomer population because they don't take no crap. They wanted to see them saddled and riddled with in hospitals, largely able to.
Well, because most of them vote in every primary for the Republican.
Well, and after you die, you vote Democrat.
Well, that part. And USAID was funding terrorist organizations, as we've seen. So it was a huge, huge operation that has, they planned. It's the long game, part of the long game.
As Ivan Ranklin said, pull the COVID string, it all comes apart.
It does.
Because it also helped pave the way for election fraud.
Yes.
Interesting. But don't take our word for it. Here is...
and the CDLs are just,
Up front.
No, the CDLs where they're giving out these...
Oh, the licenses?
The licenses.
Oh.
That's just, an unintended consequence of what their goal was. Do you see how we're adding all this together and how it all is supposed to make sense? I hope y'all are tracking.
We're just moms.
I'm just a mom.
We're just a mom. Take a listen.
Well, now investigators are tracking the web of fraud to other Minnesota Democrats, such as Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Many of the suspects linked to the scheme live in her district, including a restaurant owner who hosted events for her. He has since been convicted of stealing $12 million in COVID funds.
$12 million? Ooh.
This is the same state where the governor put tampons in the men's restroom.
I mean, but $12 million?
Well, how much did taxpayers pay to have tampons in the men's bathroom? This is crazy. But to be fair, we would like to give Ilhan Omar a chance to maybe set the record straight. Take a listen.
She's not gonna.
I want to pick up on where the Treasury Secretary just left off. He alleged that people who were tied to you or your campaign were involved in this broad, brazen scheme to rip off the Minnesota state welfare system. Do you want to respond to that? Do you know what he is referring to?
I really don't, and I don't think the secretary himself understands what he's referring to. We obviously had people who were able to donate to our campaign that were involved. We sent that money back a couple years ago. And actually, I was one of the first members of Congress to send a letter to the Secretary of Ag asking them to look into what I thought was a reprehensible fraud that was occurring within the program.
So she sent a letter to the Secretary of Agriculture to look into this fraud. She is the representative from that district. So 3 things that popped to my mind.
1, 2, 3.
Just as a mom. Number 1, you're on a nationally syndicated show. Maybe you bring that letter or something to prove that you've sent the letter.
Bring receipts.
Because I would like to believe you. Number 2, who do you think is going to handle launching that investigation in your state? You're telling me you don't have the Attorney General of Minnesota and the governor both on speed dial in your phone? What is the Secretary of Agriculture going to do except down the line hopefully bring federal charges because it is Medicaid? You don't need to wait on and you don't send a strongly worded letter. You're just tied up in the middle of it. If you really wanted to clear your name, you skywrite it. You go to every single place within your state to see if they can look into this. You don't silence the Department of Health within your own jurisdiction that said, hey, we've been seeing this and we've been screaming this. They weren't able to contact you, Ilhan. They weren't able to contact Tampon Tim. You guys largely turned the other way. So I smell something.
More
It's
lies.
fishy.
That's just what they're used to. Is they lie. This is. Did you really think she was going to own it?
I was going to give her the opportunity, and she's always welcome to come on the show.
She's not coming.
I will save a little spot right here for you.
She's not coming. She runs from Laura Loomer.
I know she does.
Anyone really with a microphone, she runs from.
But I'm just saying the opportunity is open because we would be fair. I just want the right to ask you the questions, and you're gonna squirm because I want to make you sit here and ask it.
And then what are the contents of this letter? I mean, you had 400 people literally come forward and say that we told everybody that was supposed to know about this fraud, and everybody turned their blind eye.
And your way to defend your constituents was a strongly worded letter.
Strongly worded letter. Sounds like Congress.
Sounds like a Democrat.
Well,
it sounds like Congress. Let me back that up because they're on both sides of that.
Fix that statement.
Lord Jesus. Well, there has been a hot mic moment from the president, Lee.
Yes.
And I'm
all this. I'm here for all of this.
I was just going to say I'm so here for it, but then I can hear my daughter being like, don't say that. You age yourself.
Whatever. I don't care.
So here for it. Turn up the volume. Take a listen to the frustration of the commander-in-chief.
Let's go.
Listen.
Hey, Jeff, you know I cannot appoint anybody. Huh? I can't appoint anybody. Everybody I've appointed, their time is expired. And then they're in default. And then we're losing cases.
Yes. Yes.
He sounds angry.
He said, I can't appoint anybody. Remember, this is what you do day one when you're sworn in as president. You're supposed to have all your ducks in a row, and everybody's supposed to be so willing to help because we have the House and the Senate, both sides. So let's get his agenda through. Let's get everybody appointed. He said, I can't appoint anybody. Everybody I've appointed has had their time expire. Then they're in default, and then we're losing. What is the holdup?
I mean, that's the question. He asked it. Now, do you see why he's naming people?
Pam?
I mean, he is literally feeling the frustration that all of us are feeling. Like, at what point does the steam engine continue to run? Like it feels like we're stalled.
And this is the frustration. This is why when as a candidate, I'm a candidate again, but as you know, as a candidate, you knock doors and people will say things like, I don't do politics. Or I'm now an independent. And you try to understand, like, well, why? Because here in the state of Florida, you have to be in either party, Democrat or Republican, in order to vote in the primary, which is where you get your best Republicans, really. And so you're trying to, like, hear people out. And this is why. Because they see, we all know government moves at a snail's pace.
Slower than a snail's pace, to be honest with you.
What's that movie that you always refer to?
Zootopia.
Zootopia at the DMV?
Yes.
Oh my God.
With the sloth.
Unless you're an illegal who needs a CDL license, then apparently right to the top of the pile. But this is why people get frustrated, because here we just sent a mandate on November 5th where I'm talking everybody showed up for Trump. The moms, the ethnical groups, you've got the blacks, you've got the Hispanics, you've got the Christians. Hey! They went out and decided that they're supposed to be political as well. Everybody shows up, and then we can't get our own congressmen and women to light a fire and push through these appointments.
Mind you, all of the Republicans followed underneath the Trump umbrella. That's how they got elected. On the coattails of President Trump.
They rode that Trump chain. Choo-choo.
Everybody won because they all said that they agree
Lindsey Graham.
and want to push forward Trump's agenda, which is the America First, Make America Great Again agenda. So we all fell for the okie doke, apparently, because we still have not had all of the nominees confirmed. We currently have a CISA director. Don't have a CISA director.
We still have that call to action.
We
out,
do.
Right?
We have a call
Where
to action.
Where can they get that?
You can go to thehollowalliance.com
Yes.
to find that call to action. You can also go to coastalconservativenews.com to find that call to action. You can also go to my page and Michelle's page and our open mic page and our Coastal Conservative News
We're trying
page.
to get the word out.
I mean, we seriously need people to call Senator Rick Scott and tell him to pass, not to pass, but to make sure that this nominee, do you remember his name?
I will pull it up here.
He is a Trump nominee for CISA. And CISA is our cybersecurity intelligence agency, right? And we don't have a director. We need to make sure that we have a director. And he's just kind of chilling out.
I'm looking for it.
You see it?
I mean, we
Is
still
it not on the Hollow? I think it's on CCN.
It's on CCN. We need to get moved to that. Sorry, you're seeing real life workings happening live right now. But this is why it's so important, because this is when you get people in what some people call the deep state. It's all the agencies that really we just need somebody at the helm to be able to right the ship. Without doing this and with wasting the first 100 days, this looks really bad. It looks really sloppy. This is how you remember Alina Habba. She was supposed to be the U.S. attorney in New Jersey. They botched something with that. You saw him call out Pam Bondi and say, we almost ended up with a woke Democrat in Virginia.
This is like the third time he's called her out, though, so just keep that in mind. Sorry, I just
3 strikes and you're
out. You're gone. Sean Planky is the Trump nominee for CISA. Call Senator Rick Scott and tell him to make sure that Trump's nominee gets appointed, okay? His name is Sean Planky.
All we want for Christmas is some appointments.
That's it. I don't understand what the heck is taking so long.
Absolutely. Well,
it's always the Senate.
And so I just want you to know, when Trump gets frustrated, heads roll.
Heads roll, right? Well, and also Susie Wiles was on Mom's the Mom View. Okay,
I love that.
We'll talk about that in a minute. Then
you sent that,
but
for me.
It kind of goes hand in hand with what we're talking about Trump being frustrated with what's going on with
Were you shocked by what she said? I guess we'll get to it. I really want to get your take on it.
Yeah.
I want to I picked up this short clip because we love Wesley Hunt, who is the representative in Texas. We've talked a lot about the radicalization, radical Islamification, if you will, of our country, because, obviously free to practice your religion here, but not free to try to override our Constitution with whatever your book says. So listen to Wesley Hunt come out swinging on Benny Johnson's show, standing really firm. This is really, really good to listen to. Take a listen.
Also, I'm somebody that has lived in Saudi Arabia for 2 years. I'm somebody that deployed to Iraq. I have actually lived in countries that have Sharia law. Sharia law has absolutely no place in this great nation. It has absolutely no place in the great state of Texas. And I will fight tooth and nail to prevent that from happening. And for those people that think that everybody that comes to this country, that they think they want to sing Kumbaya and hold our hand and they're rooting for America, I'm here to tell you that they are not. Look, I'm all about multiculturalism. I understand this is a melting pot. I get all that. But this is America. We have our own culture. We have our own constitution. We have our own set of laws. And if you aren't willing to assimilate to what American culture is, I have an idea for you. go back to your country of origin because you don't belong here. That's the bottom line.
Right.
And I'm not saying that we can't have people of different religions. I'm not saying we can't have people of different beliefs. But I will tell you that one of my good buddies is that he is Muslim. He is a fighting Texas Aggie, but this guy is as red-blooded American MAGA as possible. And he told me, Wesley, I may come from a Muslim background, but I view myself as an American first. If you're willing to adopt that attitude, well, then come on board. But if you're not willing to adopt that attitude, you are not going to infiltrate this country and infiltrate Texas and think that you are going to turn Texas law into Sharia law.
Oh God.
Fire, straight fire. I love it. I love it. He's awesome.
Love it.
But I mean, that is the sentiment of everyone, I feel like, of a lot of Americans that have been paying attention to the Islamification of America, which is something that your girls here at Open Mic have been shouting from the rooftops for the last, couple months now.
Girl, really.
It's been insane.
It's been insane.
And about time, right? About time that somebody is saying something.
Well, and so we're shouting from the rooftops.
Yeah.
And then we're at a press conference with Governor DeSantis.
Yeah.
And then, I don't want to bury the lead, Governor Ron DeSantis comes out with this. He says, effective immediately, he designates the Muslim Brotherhood and CAIR, C-A-I-R, a foreign terrorist organization. Texas has already done this. Let's go, red states. He says Florida agencies are hereby directed to undertake all lawful measures to prevent unlawful activities by these organizations, including denying privileges or resources to anyone providing material support. Boom.
This is amazing. Thank you, Florida. We appreciate you, Governor Ron DeSantis, for listening to Coastal Conservative News and Open Mic Ladies on this issue.
He's like, don't ever sit them in the front row again.
Hold on.
Ever.
Along with Amy, who has been broadcasting this on X.
Yes, Amy.
Along with Laura Loomer, who has been broadcasting this on X and everywhere that she goes, talking about this, because CAIR in Florida has literally gagged her. She's not allowed to speak against them. It's quite crazy what the lengths of the terrorist organization. Not crazy, but it is. I mean,
it is crazy when you see it
It's
close
too
up.
wild
You're like,
to
I
me.
can't. This really happens. It's really happening.
right. And then so I'm just grateful that we have administration that is paying attention and that is listening. But the only issue is that if this is not codified federally as well, we're going to have a problem nationally.
Because not everybody can come.
Right.
We can't fit everybody in the state of Florida.
No.
We're not that far above sea level. We'll sink.
And not
you
everybody's
can't-
going to fit in Texas either. So
No.
you can't retreat to Florida and Texas. I'm going to need you guys to figure out how to build relationships with your elected representatives in the administration within your state in order to declare the Muslim Brotherhood and CAIR as terrorist organizations to protect your state, the sovereignty of your state, because Sharia law is antithetical to every single state constitution as well as the federal constitution. The problem is that we have a Senate that does not want to move. We have things that have been passed in the House for 2 years now, and they're going on their third vote in the House. Why are we going on the third vote in the House when the Senate refuses to vote? It's already passed. Get off your best intentions, Senate, and pass it. And if we need more people, more Republicans, more America First representatives in the Senate, then how about we start building a bench and holding hands with the America First MAGA candidates that are popping up all over the United States.
Thank you, Allie. That bench may have red lipstick. They may have red nails. They may have high heels. Can you please stop telling the bench how to dress? Just going to say, we need fighters. We need fighters. You can't say that you want people elected to office that represent mainstream America outside the box, that people are regular, everyday people, and then be shocked when regular, everyday people show up to do the job because they don't look and sound like...
I'm going to put it this way. We are at war.
Yes.
And none of us are enlisted. When you enlist in the United States Armed Forces, you have a dress code that you must abide by. MAGA and America First and the battle between the soul of America and what we're currently seeing is the sovereignty of America. MAGA does not have a dress code, okay? But we do have a mission. And what is the mission? To further American sovereignty, to keep America great, to make it better, to keep it safe from foreign adversaries.
On fire,
So
girl.
it doesn't matter. We are at war for the soul of our nation. I could care less what you do in your bedroom. I could care less what you have on. Can you pick up a mic and spread the word and pick up a phone and make some phone calls? Can you donate? Can you knock doors? Can you do what's necessary? Your time, your money, your life, or all three. What are you giving to America to further it, to keep it safe? Thank you.
On behalf of our audience, why in God's name would you ever keep this woman out of a room?
I don't know.
You have to ask yourself that, and that's, I'm just going to leave it there. Because I know the story. I know the story. And I love that Governor DeSantis, the picture they chose, he's got these aviators on. Because he's like doubling down on
Florida
man.
man.
Florida
I love
man.
it. I love it. It's good.
So we are.
Could this possibly be a wink and a nod to a presidential run, Mr. Governor DeSantis?
I think it's always a possibility. And here's the thing. I'm going to try to stay out of it.
We got to strategize. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to stay out of it. I'm glad that we've got a lot of people that could potentially fill that seat, and I'm just going to...
I think he should go back into the Senate, to be honest with you.
We could use his help!
We could totally use a DeSantis back in the Senate. Why not?
I don't know if he's asking what we feel about it.
He don't want our opinion, but I'm going to give it anyway.
Okay, Allie led the way with the CDL issues at many of the DMVs across the United States. Well, we're going to fast forward to this Libs of TikTok moment.
Love them.
The DMV in Maine, you know, they have wonderful, beautiful lighthouses up there in Maine. What they don't do, but they're very blue. And it ruins a good state. But the DMV in Maine was reportedly caught giving info on how illegal aliens from Somalia could get driver licenses despite killing someone in a car crash in their native country. Now, if you have a really bad driving record in, I don't know, let's say Illinois, and you move to Florida and you want to get a driver's license here, especially a CDL license in the state of Florida, they're going to check all of your prior driving.
That's usually how that works.
Not if you come here from a terrorist-ridden nation like Somalia. I want you to listen to this. Now, it's long. We're not going to listen to all of it. Darn it, you're not going to get to the end of it. I'll tell you what happens at the end, but go ahead and take a listen. Darn.
Okay, so as long as he brought his birth certificate from Africa, he'll be okay to get his driver's license?
So that is one form of ID that we can accept for the exam process to get him started. The other one needs to bear a signature.
So would you take like a country ID? Because they do kind of similar to
Yeah,
state.
you know if that's been signed, if there's an immature.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so I looked at it. So as long as he has his birth certificate from his home country in Africa and a driver's license that has his signature from his country, that should be okay?
So we would be able to use that out-of-country ID for the signature piece as long as that birth certificate has been translated. Do you know if it has?
Yes, yeah, he does have his, yeah.
It is
No
translated.
talk.
Okay.
No, we can bring it back.
Awesome.
No talk
Okay,
about,
so his name...
about U.S. citizenship at all. And the reason why I bring that up is because it's a 3-minute clip.
Yeah.
But if you listen to the very end, the last thing she says after telling him, oh, we don't care that he's murdered somebody by running a red light in his country. The last thing she says is, can I transfer you to the elections department?
Say what?
So they're getting IDs and then registering to vote.
Isn't this what you said a couple days ago where you were like, it's not even the GOP that's registering voters.
It's the DMV.
But we're the crazy ones. Okay.
As a woman, it doesn't get old being right, but I'm just saying when it comes to the heart of our country, it does. It gets old.
Oh my gosh.
Let me be, and that's why we have to play this stuff, because honestly, we do get messages and emails like, was that real?
Yes.
Yes, it's real.
We're not going to lie to you. We promise.
I didn't make it up, I swear.
Wow.
In the meantime, Allie, speaking of elections, we are told our sources deep within inner circles say that we are really close to having all the goods, all the receipts. They've got everything about the 2020 election, and I'm going to tell you that the MyPillow guy was 100% right. But we want to make sure we shed light on this. Tina Peters, who was a clerk in, I believe it was Colorado, right? She holds the only surviving forensic copy of Colorado's 2020, we're going to say the word because they're out of business, Dominion voting data, and must be pardoned immediately. That way she can, they want her to testify largely in federal court.
Yeah, she's a key witness. She's a
grandmother.
The key witness. in a federal case.
In a federal case.
I don't understand why she hasn't been pardoned yet.
Well,
I do know that because we ended up having Ed Martin in one of our spaces. I believe it was Trump Tuesday with Mark Naughton. And he did say that they were working on it. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see a pardon here pretty soon.
Yeah, better.
I hope so, because her information, this is important. Like, she really shouldn't be in jail to begin with.
And this is the thing, you go and you do your job, whether it's at, a municipal government or, state government, whatever job you're in, you're holding. And we tell you that, if you see something, say something. Stand up and do the right thing. Do your job. And she did her job.
She did everything she was supposed to.
And because they didn't like the fact that it was exposing the corruption in the 2020 election, they prosecuted her. She had, just like you and I, very little means to really what does that kind of representation look like when you've got the entire deep state coming after you? I mean, you can't match that.
The process is the punishment.
Absolutely.
The process is the punishment. They don't really care about winning or losing. They're going to win anyway because they have more money than you. And why do they have more money than you? Because of your taxes. So you're fighting government that you've paid for their bloat. Like, do you see where this is? It's the punishment. It's the process is the punishment. They don't care.
Well, we care, right, Allie? We're going to keep shedding. We're going to keep shedding light on it.
And this is where what comes when I say we are literally at a war for this nation.
Yes.
And it's not a kinetic war. It's about principles. We're fighting against principles and ideas. And when I literally say we need to stand 10 toes down on whether or not what you're going to sacrifice for this nation, your money, your time, your life, or all three, I literally mean that.
And don't come at me because the boots that I choose to lace up are high heels.
Right. Well, and this is what Tina understands. She's like, look, thank you. I did my job. Yes, I'm in jail, but you need to right the ship because this is unjust. Absolutely. And you need to get me out of here so that I can actually put these criminals behind bars with my testimony.
Absolutely.
She's giving up her life, her freedom.
Which is why, Pam Bondi, we cannot afford more press conferences. We want to see, or media blitzes, we want to see actual action.
The front lines looks different.
Absolutely. We've got so much more coming. We're going to break down what the Supreme Court said yesterday, and they're going to be hearing more about this throughout the spring, guys. We want to make sure you understand what's at stake. More open mic after this short break.
From the heart of Marietta, Georgia, comes a tribute to the spirit of liberty. Liberty Cigars, where history meets craftsmanship. Each cigar tells a story. The Founders Collection honors the visionaries who shaped a nation. The President's House Collection celebrates the leaders who steered it. And the Naval Series salutes the heroes who defended it. Handcrafted with precision, each blend mirrors the essence of its namesake. From the boldness of George Washington to the elegance of Thomas Jefferson. Indulge in a moment of reflection. Light a Liberty cigar and savor the legacy. Discover your story at libertycigars.com because every great nation deserves a great cigar. Liberty Cigars, smoke the history. And don't forget to use promo code OpenMic for 10% off your order.
Welcome back to Open Mic with Allie and Michelle. Make sure that you're following us at Real Allie Leger, at Michelle Posey, and at Open Mic Ladies on all platforms. Let's fast forward and get into the Supreme Court. So yesterday, there were opening arguments about the potential of hearing the argument, can the head of the executive branch, the president, does he have the right to fire those that have been largely appointed to independent commissions? Independent commissions, people that are largely paid by your tax dollars. They determine things like the interest rates. But when he tries
like
to,
the Fed?
Yeah. But when he tries to say, you know what, you're based on your job performance, you suck.
Oh, I'm so glad you said it because I was going to say it. If you didn't say it, I was saying it.
And I think this is important because what they're doing, case law of Humphrey's executor versus the United States, this goes back a long time, has largely said that it's case law that no, the president, they don't want the president to be able to do that. They don't want the president to be able to come in and fire somebody that sits on one of these independent commissions, largely because it's quasi-private, which means it's like half public, half private. But Article 2 of the Constitution does specify what the executive branch can do. So
and herein lies the problem of arguing constitutional law with case law.
Thank you. Where's Chris Ann Hall? Absolutely.
Right.
So I want you to hear, this was actually something that was really hopeful to hear. When you've got Ketanji Brown, who comes out and tries to dish out, she's one of the Supreme Court justices, appointed by Biden, and she comes out and she's trying to give her argument. And then finally, Brett Kavanaugh reaches underneath his justice robe and finds his manhood and actually has a really good comeback. And I was like, praise God. Okay, take a listen.
I don't understand why it is that the thought that the president gets to control everything can outweigh Congress's clear authority and duty to protect the people in this way.
But Justice Kavanaugh asked, what happens when a president can't effectively carry out his or her agenda because of what a previous administration from an opposing party has done in maybe setting up one of these multi-member agencies or boards, and those members can't be fired by the president?
I want to give you a chance to deal with the hard hypothetical. When both houses of Congress and president are controlled by the same party, them creating a lot of these independent agencies with or extending some of the current independent agencies into these kinds of situations so as to thwart future presidents of the opposite party.
So to rule for the president, they'd have to overturn a 90-year-old precedent, which is basically been on life support, if we're being honest. But the court's going to consider some of these same questions again. Slightly different framework in January when it wades into whether the president can dismiss a Fed governor. The court has indicated that it sees the Fed as a unique institution because it is quasi-private.
Quasi-private, which means
should not be.
We don't want you to know what we're doing.
It should not be. Everything that happens should be in the sunshine, especially when it comes to your tax dollars. And your money.
Largely, these agencies are not constitutional.
No.
So if you're
it's an expansion of government.
But it's an expansion of the executive branch of government.
Right.
Who is
Which
the
is not,
head of the executive branch?
Exactly.
The president.
The president.
These are people that have you want to know what's wrong with our law schools? All of these people have come from major.
Some case law is really important.
Highly funded law schools. I'm talking Harvard, Yale.
Yeah, but they've all been infiltrated by foreign adversaries. So I mean, how much can we really trust it? Nobody's really teaching the Constitution anymore. Nobody that is elected or is currently arguing for constitutionality are even going back to, well, what does the Constitution say about the executive branch? It doesn't make sense that the executive branch can expand the executive branch but can't retract.
Well, and here's what happens because, and again, as Kavanaugh found his manhood, we are so excited because take a listen to what he follows up with. Look here.
And agencies are not accountable to the people. They're not elected, as Congress and the president are, and are exercising massive power over individual liberty and billion-dollar industries, whether it's the FCC or the FTC or whatever.
Thoughts on Kavanaugh's words, Jonathan?
Well, both Kavanaugh and Alito really made short work of those defending this law. They kept on presenting hypotheticals, what they called hard hypotheticals, of where does this take you? Both of them said, well, can you just go ahead and make any cabinet department an independent commission? Can you specify just one commissioner? Can you make their length in office 20 years? All of those questions left the other side floundering. The best that they could say at points was, well, if something like that happens, you could come back and look at it. Well, the justices are looking at it now. And one of the things that should be unnerving is that those justices that normally form an alliance in these cases with the left of the court were not there today. Chief Justice Roberts really stomped on Humphrey's estate and said that it was basically a desiccated or dried up precedent. Justice Barrett said these commissions don't look anything like what existed at the time of some of these earlier cases. So that's not a good omen if you want Humphrey's estate to live to 91.
There you go. There you go.
And that is making, again, the argument of why we don't want to go with case law governing in our judicial system, but the Constitution, because now they're seeing this case law is basically ineffective. I love the fact that Alito Kavanaugh, Roberts, Barrett, our 4 technically common sense minded, if you will, Supreme Court justices are all leaning already with a strong lean to say this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. It looks good.
Well, and I don't have a problem with case law if it's actually rooted and grounded in the right aspects, right? Like if it really is the basis of the filings or whatever it's called. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't really know all the jargon.
We don't play one on TV either.
It's been a minute since I've actually dove into like the legalese. But if it hasn't been, if the basis of the argument is not the Constitution and the case law, if it was argued against it or was adjudicated and it doesn't align with our Constitution, it's bad case law. Well, and if you want to learn more and dive a little bit deeper with this, you can come into X Spaces tonight on Trump Tuesday at 8 p.m. You could just follow me. I
was going to say, if you follow Allie, it lets you know. I mean, it lets you know because I follow Allie. It lets you know when she's going live
in a space. So,
and then what you can do
there are
during
lawyers
the
that
space,
are in there that will discuss some of this stuff.
What you can do while you're in the space even is you can private message Allie then on X and say, hey, I watch you on open mic. I'm here. I want to say something, or what does this mean? And we can actually message with you during it. I just want to make sure you understand this is being poised to overturn Humphrey's executor. Restoring full Article 2 powers to the president and smashing basically decades of bureaucratic tyranny. Take a listen to Mike Lee as he does it like nobody else can. Take a listen.
I just finished watching arguments at the Supreme Court in a case involving the constitutionality of president's authority to fire executive branch bureaucrats. Now, Article 2 of the Constitution vests the president with the executive power and also the responsibility to execute the laws. When the president sees that the laws aren't being implemented consistent with what he deems appropriate, he should be able to fire them. And that's what the Constitution contemplates. There's a Supreme Court ruling from about 100 years ago called Humphrey's Executor. And Humphrey's Executor says that the president can't fire those employees, especially if they're part of certain multi-member lawmaking and law enforcement commissions that are sort of a hybrid. The Supreme Court appears dissatisfied with that, and it looks like there are 5, probably 6 justices who are ready to strike down Humphrey's Executor. It would be a good day for America and for the Constitution if they did that. Look forward to seeing how the court decides this in a few months.
We will keep you posted.
That
Again,
is exciting.
After the holidays, we'll definitely keep you posted. So, Allie, what we do with open mic, and we've heard this from many people, you wouldn't think that just having a show that tries to dispel propaganda and deliver facts and news and current events directly to the people, that it wouldn't be considered something that's really dangerous, right? I mean, we're not like signing up to work in the police department. We're not signing up to go overseas to war. But it does come with a bunch of, I guess, hidden dangers. I want to talk and pivot real quick to the story of TimCast. And if you don't know who he is, Tim Pool, he has a, would you call it a podcast?
It's a podcast.
And the thing is, I can listen to him and I may not agree.
Right.
It's kind of like Joe Rogan and others that, but it's part of being engaged in that dialogue. You should be able to tolerate a viewpoint that's not your own.
And you kind of want to know what other people are talking about. I mean, it's just that are a part of our movement. I mean, it's just important. You don't want to live in an echo chamber.
He's having a hard time. I do want to give you, I want you to hear his words, and then because it's such a long video, we'll cut it a little short and we'll simplify it for you. Take a listen to Tim Pool.
So where does that leave us? We have 2 weeks left in the year before we go on our Christmas hiatus. I'm not a big fan of any kind of hiatus. I would prefer just to work. But it is taxing, it is grueling, of course. And there's a lot of infrastructure here that requires me to work all day, every day, Monday to Friday, with some extra work on the weekends, usually meetings. And I'm probably going to have a stroke. My health's actually pretty good. My blood pressure is great. My resting heart rate is actually around 45. I exercise quite a bit. Haven't been able to skate in the past month or two, the holidays, and But we have to have these conversations, and I have been, with the people, our contractors, people we work with, our vendors, partners. And one thing is clear. The violence will get worse. It is going to escalate. We cannot keep going as status quo. Something has to change. It may be that, as we described after the assassination of Charlie Kirk and the threat to come and shoot up our studio and our workplace, we asked, at what point do we say we can't do this anymore? The cost of running TimCast IRL Studio and the projects around it exceeds the amount of money it brings in.
Let's bring it back.
That's just that breaking point, isn't it, for any business?
He has, did I read that his house was shot up the other day, wasn't it? I think that I'll double check that while we kind of talk about it.
I think there were threats. I'm not sure if it actually occurred or if they were just threats. Either way, this is something that
gunshots fired at yes, on Friday was shot on the night of Friday, December 5th. That a vehicle approached his property, opened fire. No one was hurt. He noted his property has a security gate and armed guards, which may have deterred from a more serious situation, which that costs money to have that level of security. So an independent journalist who just wants to bring the news to you, now possibly considering his entire studio going dark.
This is where we're at. It's very sad, but it's also infuriating because this is what they want. They want from us. They want us to cower. They want us to be quiet. They want us to run.
And here's the thing,
hide.
I want our viewers, and I think you understand this, but how many years, think back to how many years, really how many decades, you have, without a thought, either written a check or done an automatic EFT withdrawal to one of your major news or cable companies, Comcast, and what's another one? I haven't had cable in so long.
No, I haven't either.
But you would pay that monthly, fervently, faithfully.
Yeah.
And what you were paying for largely was these syndicated networks that lied to you and spoon-fed you propaganda because they could.
And
now,
still can.
And so now you...
Even with the majority.
Maybe you decide to cut the ties and get off the teat of the mainstream media, and so you go to a more open platform, these streaming platforms. We're not funded the same way. The reason why Allie and I get to say what we want, when we want, and prove it is because nobody has strings above us puppeteering us into saying one thing or another because, we've got these advertisers we got to pay for. But mind you, there is a cost. There are lights on. There are people that work behind the scenes. Somebody is funding that. Some buddies are funding that, but it's largely done without large donors. So I would, if you're asking, what can I do? Please break up with your your cable bill provider. Go into these private streaming platforms and donate. Somebody like TimCast, I think you can join for like $5 a month. We're working on a platform that allows you to subscribe. Maybe for a total, if you do all the good ones, and I'm talking open mic, we're one of the good ones, but it's maybe $50 a month by the time you're done with all of them, because we have to support people that aren't afraid to bring you the news.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, each person has to do what is best for them, and everybody has a breaking point.
Yeah.
But so we lift up TimCast and his family in prayer, and we pray that he's able to make the best decision for the mission that God has given him. So
we are so having to cruise. I just want to make sure we get this small clip of the Susie Wiles, who is she's the chief staff for President Trump.
Yeah.
Take a listen to her on the Mom View, and then we'll talk about it. Take a listen.
He's going to have a fun next year, but we're going to put him on the campaign trail too. Typically, just a little bit of campaign speak, if I may.
Yeah.
Typically, in the midterms, it's not about who's sitting at the White House. It's you localize the election.
Right.
And you and you keep the federal officials out of it. We're actually going to turn that on its head.
Good.
And put them on the ballot, because so many of those low propensity voters are Trump voters.
Yes, they are.
And we saw a week ago Tuesday what happens when he's not on the ballot and not active. So I haven't quite broken it to him yet. But
I mean, that's amazing that
Susie Wiles is her strategy is to get Trump on the ballot, to have him campaign in 2026, because she's right. And what we've noticed and what has been spoken about in spaces and in the syndicate, this political sphere that we're in, is people will not come out to vote if Trump is not on the ballot. It just is what it is.
Do you think the Trump administration will endorse in school board races?
Maybe. I mean, it would be very interesting. I don't know if that was something that they could do, but it could be interesting. It could be interesting.
You can't blame a girl for trying.
Right. I think there should be a midterm convention. I think that would be really cool.
Yes, let's do that. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. We're down. Call us.
Or just do Trump rallies in every state.
Let's do it. We've got to keep the energy up. Here is the one and only Sean Farage to close out the show. Take a listen.
'Tis the season to deport 'em, fa la 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 la. We love ICE and we support 'em, fa la 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 la. Send them on one-way vacations, fa la 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 la. Ramp up those mass deportations, fa la 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 la. We've deported millions so far, fa la 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 la. Next.
Okay, I want to know how he does the impersonation and stays on key. Was there an auto-tune?
No.
That was Sean.
No,
you got a career.
That is Sean.
You got a potential career.
It is so awesome. He comes into Trump Tuesday and he answers questions from the press box, which is everybody that has a mic on the stage. It is so funny. We love him. He's amazing. I love his impersonations of Trump. They're so much fun.
That's amazing, because I've had my hand up. They can't always get to everybody. No. But I'm like, I just want to ask him a question, because he answers it in Trump's voice.
He does.
So you get the feeling that you're getting that.
And you get to play with him, like the banter back and forth. It really is a lot of fun.
Tell our viewers again when to join tonight.
8 p.m.
Okay.
Trump Tuesday. Just follow me. I'll be in there tonight at 8. So you'll see my little
she'll reshare and
highlight ring will come up saying I'm in a mic. So it's cool.
That's it for us today, guys, on Tuesday. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're right back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. Make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe, all the things. And guys, keep your mic open and don't ever go muted.
And don't forget to call Senator Rick Scott and tell him to nominate Sean Planky.
How did you remember that name? You're so good.
I'm
Wow.
All right, guys. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
What do you do when the gas is high?